Hello everybody, I am Mohammad Azhar Iqbal Nawalgund, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Government First Grade College, Mundargi. This is our 6th and 7th combined session on interference. Today in this session we will discuss the interference in thin films due to transmitted light. Interference in thin films due to transmitted light. In the previous session we have learned the interference in thin films due to reflected light. Now we will consider the interference in thin films due to transmitted light. Consider a thin parallel-sided transparent film of thickness T, refractive index mu, which is greater than 1 and surrounded by air. Let a single wave beam AB of monochromatic light of wavelength lambda be incident on the upper surface of the film at an angle I. This ray is partially reflected along BC and partially or partly refracted along BD at an angle R. At point D, the ray BD again partially reflected from the second surface along DE and partly refracted along DF in air. Similarly, at E, ray DE is partially reflected along EG inside the film and partly refracted out. At G, the ray EG partially reflected and partially it is refracted along GH. This is the figure for the interference due to transmitted light. Now this is the thin film having the upper layer XY and the lower layer is the X dash Y dash and having a thickness of T and a refractive index of mu. Now let us consider a ray of light AB is incident on the upper surface of the film at V. The ray AB is partially reflected along BC and partially refracted along BD. At D, the ray BD is again partially reflected along DE and inside the film and partially refracted along DF. And the ray DE at point E, again it is partially reflected along EG inside the film and refracted out. At point G, the ray EG is again it is partially reflected inside the film and partially refracted along GH. Now draw the perpendiculars EN to DG and GM to DF. If the film is thin, the rays DF and GH will be sufficiently close to each other and in a position to interfere. As the film is parallel-sided, the paths DF and GH will be parallel to each other. At points D and E, reflection takes place at rarer medium. Therefore, there is no phase change occurs. Let En and Gm be perpendiculars to Dg and Df respectively. As the paths of the rays Df, Gh beyond Gm are equal, the path difference is given by P is equal to path Deg in film minus path Dm in air. That is equal to mu into bracket De plus Eg minus Dm. Call this as equation number 1. In a right angled triangle DEN, we have cos R is equal to En divided by De. Therefore, De is equal to En divided by cos R, that is equal to T divided by cos R, because En is equal to T, the thickness of the film. Call this as equation number 2. Similarly, in right-angled triangle NEG, we have cos R is equal to En divided by Eg. Therefore, Eg is equal to En divided by cos R. That is equal to T divided by cos R. Call this as equation number 3. Or Te is equal to Eg. Therefore, De plus Eg is equal to 2T divided by cos R. And in a right angled triangle DGM, we have sin I is equal to dm divided by dg. Therefore, dm is equal to dg into sin I, or this can also be written as dm is equal to bracket of dn plus ng bracket complete into sin I. Call this as equation number 4. But in triangle DEN, tan R is equal to dn divided by En. Therefore, dn is equal to En into tan R, that is equal to T tan R. And in triangle NEG, tan R is equal to Ng divided by En. Therefore, Ng is equal to En tan R, that is equal to T tan R. Therefore, from equation number 4, dm is equal to bracket of dn plus ng bracket complete into sin I, that is equal to bracket of t tan r plus t tan r bracket complete into sin I, that is equal to 2t tan r into sin I, that is equal to 2t sin r divided by cos r into sin I, that is equal to 2t sin r divided by cos r into mu sin r, because mu is equal to sin I divided by sin r. Therefore, sin I is equal to mu into sin r, Snell's law. Therefore, dm is equal to 2 mu t sin square r divided by cos r. Call this as equation number 5. Substituting the values of dE, EG and dm from equation 2, 3 and 5 in equation 1, we get P is equal to mu bracket of t divided by cos r plus t divided by cos r bracket complete minus of 2 mu t sin square r divided by cos r, that is equal to 2 mu t divided by cos r minus of 2 mu t sin square r divided by cos r. 2 mu t divided by cos is common in both the equations, therefore take it outside. That is equal to 2 mu t cos r bracket of 1 minus sin square r bracket complete, that is equal to 2 mu t cos r into cos square r, because 1 minus sin square r is equal to cos square r. Cos get cancels. Therefore, P is equal to 2 mu t cos r. Therefore, when there is no path difference or a phase change occurs between df and dg, we have delta is equal to 2 mu t cos r. Call this as equation number 6. Condition of maxima and minima. First one, for constructive interference, the path difference should be an even multiple of lambda by 2. That is for maxima. 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2n lambda divided by 2. That is, or we can write this as 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda, where n is equal to where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. When this condition is satisfied, the film will appear bright. Second one, for destructive interference, the path difference should be an odd multiple of lambda by 2, that is for minima. 2 mu t cos r is equal to bracket of 2n minus 1 bracket complete into lambda by 2, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3. Or this can the equation for this can also be written as 2 mu t cos r is equal to bracket of 2n plus 1 bracket complete into lambda divided by 2, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. When this condition is satisfied, the film will appear dark. Conditions obtained for maxima and minima in interference by transmitted light are exactly opposite to the interference by reflected light. If the film appears bright in the reflected system, the film appears dark in the transmitted system. 2 mu t cos r is equal to bracket of 2n plus 1 bracket complete into lambda by 2. The film appears bright in a reflected system. 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2n bracket of 2n plus 1 bracket complete into lambda by 2. The film will appear dark in transmitted system. 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. The film appears dark in a reflected system and the film appears bright in a transmitted system. Now, colors of thin films. When a monochromatic light is used, we get bright and dark fringes. The bright band in the reflected system will be a dark band in the transmitted system for the same path difference. Thus, the two systems are complementary. When we use the white light, the film shows different colors. The path difference between interfering rays is bracket of 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2 bracket complete. The path difference depends upon the thickness of the film t, the refractive index mu, upon angle of refraction or vision, and the angle of incident ray I. The white light consists of a continuous range of wavelengths. For a particular value of t and r, the waves of only certain wavelengths satisfy the condition of maxima, that is 2 mu t cos r is equal to bracket of 2n plus 1 bracket complete into lambda by 2. Therefore, only those colors will be present in the reflected system with maximum intensity. The other neighboring wavelengths will be present with less intensity. There will also be a certain waves of wavelengths which satisfy the condition of minima 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. Such wavelengths or colors will be absent from the reflected light. The point of the film will appear colored. The coloration of the film vary with the thickness of the film T and the position of the eye. Therefore, if we vary either T or R, a different set of colors will be observed. If the film had uniform thickness everywhere, that is parallel sided, the white light falls on it as a parallel beam. The path difference at each point of the film will be same, and hence the entire film will appear uniformly colored. As the conditions of maxima and minima for transmitted light are opposite to those for reflected light, with the white light, the colors visible in the reflected light will be complementary to the colors visible in the transmitted light. Next is the necessity of an extended source. What is the necessity of the extended source? If we use the narrow source, what will happen? If we use the narrow source, let light from a narrow source S be incident on a thin film. For each incident wave, we get a pair of parallel interfering waves. The interfering pairs of waves are shown in figure 5. Due to the limited size, the rays from only a small area of the film can enter the eye. Thus, only a small portion of the film will be visible. To observe the different parts of the film, the eye will have to move sideways. Hence, with a narrow source, it is not possible to observe the whole film simultaneously. Here, this is the diagram. Here from the source, this is the thin film. When a ray of light is incident here, we will get the two pair of rays. This means that we see that this much of film only. For the second this to view this part of the film, we have to change the position or vision. To see this film, we have to also change the vision. For example, if we take a small pipe, hollow pipe, if you see through that, you will see the limited portion of the wall or anything. If you take the bigger pipe, hollow pipe, you will see the portion more than that. If you remove the pipes directly, if you view it, you will see the complete wall or portion of that. Now this is the extended source, this is the narrow source, and this is the extended source. The extended source has the S1, the light from S1 falls on the film at here, and from the other part of the source falls on here. This means that we simultaneously in the one time we will see this much of film. Okay. Extended source. Let us now consider extended source of light incident on the thin film in figure C. The portion A of the film is seen by the reflected light originally coming from point S1 of the extended source. The portion B of the film is seen by the reflected light originally coming from point S2 of the extended source. Thus, each point on the film is seen by the reflected light originally coming from some points on the source. Thus, in the case of extended source of light, the rays from different part of the film so as to enter the eye placed in a suitable position. Thus, we can see the entire film simultaneously. Colors are not observed in a case of thick film. If the film is very thick, colors are not observed. If the film is excessively thin, it appears completely black. In this session, we have learned or seen, gone through the interference condition for maxima in thin films due to reflected light is 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Interference condition for minima in thin films due to reflected light is 2 mu t cos r is equal to bracket of 2n plus 1 bracket completed to lambda divided by 2, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Colors of thin films, necessity of an extended source. On this session, now we will discuss the multiple choice questions. Question number 1. Condition of maxima in an interference due to transmitted light dash. The option A, 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. Option B, mu t cos r is equal to 2n lambda. Option C, cos r is equal to n lambda. Option D, all the above. The correct answer is option A, 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. Question number 2. Condition of minima in an interference due to transmitted light dash. Options are option A, mu t cos r is equal to n into lambda divided by 2. Option B, 2 mu t cos r is equal to lambda divided by 2. C, option C, 2 mu t cos r is equal to bracket of 2n plus 1 bracket complete into lambda divided by 2. Option D, none of the above. The correct option is option C, 2 mu t cos r is equal to bracket of 2n plus 1 bracket complete into lambda divided by 2. Question number 3. For the extended source, we see option A, entire film simultaneously. Option B, part of the film at a time. Option C, both A and B. Option D, none of the above. The correct option is option A, entire film simultaneously. Question number 4. In a thick film, colors are option A, observed. Option B, not observed. Option C, partially observed. Option D, cannot say. The correct option is option B, not observed. Question number 5. In an excessively thin film appears, option A white, option B red, option C green, option D black. The correct option is option D black. The books which I referred for these sessions are Textbook of Optics by Brijlal and Subramaniam, Refresher Course in Physics by Arora, Optics by D.S. Mathur. Thank you.